Hey, welcome to Lo Young. I left America about 15 years ago to live here in China. And now that I've been living here for so long, I'm much older, smarter, more mature than I was when I first arrived, 15 years ago. I can look back and see a lot of the reasons why I actually moved here, even though I didn't know that at the time. So I want to talk about that with y'all today. Check this out. I'm just here on an afternoon walk right now. Usually I go for a walk every day after lunch, just kind of hang out, chill. There's some music going on back there. I don't know what's going on over there, but anyway, like I said, I've been here for like 15 years. And actually one of the things that I want to talk about is how I see things now living here for so long, because life here just seems a lot simpler in many ways, and it's really helped me a lot actually to get away from the West. Now this isn't my first time living abroad or trying to live abroad. I mean, like I've tried twice before and failed, and at that point in time actually I tried to move to the Philippines, and somebody, this was probably 20 years ago, and online work wasn't really a big thing back then, so I had to have a job, and I failed at that. That didn't work out very well. So I went home and regrouped and saved some money. It's a nice little coffee shop there. I ought to go over there and try a coffee out. Anyway, I went home, regrouped, saved some money, and went back to the Philippines again a second time. And I ended up staying for about a year, and the same thing happened. Couldn't get work, ran out of money, pretty much ended up homeless on the street, and went back home. And then 3 years later, I came to China. And how did that happen actually? Well, I did a little bit more research on, what to do and where to go. And I found that, my options were like China, Japan, Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. I wrote out other places in Asia because, the English speaking abilities and things like that, it limited my chances to find a job. And so I chose these countries because the easiest way to get in is to get a job, teaching English, of course. And so at that point in time, actually Japan and Korea had the highest salaries. And I think Vietnam, Thailand, and China were all very similar. They were all around $1,000 to $1,200 a month or so was the typical salary at that time. Like I said, this was 15 years ago. And so I decided on China. And when I came here, I started a simple job making about, like $1,200-$1,300 a month. And then slowly over time, China just really started booming economically, and salaries started increasing, and eventually China became the highest paying country in terms of teaching English in all of Asia. And that just so happened to be luck. I didn't that wasn't like by my choice or my design or whatever. This happened to be, I got lucky in that aspect in terms of making money, especially compared to the cost of living, because China is really cheap. It still is very cheap, even though the salaries have gone up. Cost of living is still very, very cheap here. Actually, you can check out one of my cost of living videos. I'll put one at the link at the end. I'll put a link to one of those at the end of this video, actually, if you want to watch that after this and see how much it actually costs to live here. But so that really gave me a lot of opportunities to save money and just start investing towards my future and things like that. So that really worked out really well in my favor. And again, that was I just kind of lucked into that. It wasn't really like by design. So that aspect or that part of it was quite just pure luck that it just so happened that it worked out that way. But that being said, there's a lot of other things that also I would say I kind of lucked into in a way. But at the time when I left, there wasn't really anything, in my opinion, inherently like wrong with America or living in America. It's just I lived in a small town, wasn't in a lot of opportunity and stuff like that, and I just wanted to go to somewhere else. And other places in America, if I wanted to go to a bigger place or a bigger city, something like that in America, I had no family, no friends in these other cities. And it's really expensive there, even, 15 years ago, if you want to like pick up and go to another city somewhere or a bigger city where there might be more opportunity. It's really, really difficult if you have no family, no friends, no nothing. And here in Asia, it's really not much different, like, to pick up and come to Asia. And so I was always interested in the culture and things like that in different countries, and just found it interesting. So I decided to come to Asia, and it just so happened that things kind of worked out in my favor. But looking back now, there's a lot of things that I really dislike about the West, America in particular. I can't really talk about other countries because I'm not from those places, and I've never been to those other Western countries to really say anything about them. But in terms of America, like, just everything is so polarized in terms of like the political situation, especially nowadays. Even the election's already over, there's still a lot of stuff going on. Even my own family members posting political stuff every day on the internet and this and that, and everybody gets all bent out of shape and arguing over this and arguing over that. And that's just something that I don't have to deal with living here in Asia. I don't have to think about it, I don't have to look at it, I don't have to see it, and nobody talks about it, right? So that's just one less stress, one less worry. People here, or myself here anyway, I just live my life in a simple way, and I don't really have to think about politics. I don't have to be angry or whatever. My government's doing this and my government's doing that. So it doesn't even matter to me because I'm living in another place on the other side of the world. So I really have that one less thing to worry about. And then of course there's other things too. I just feel the way of living here is just much simpler. Like I said, I don't have to worry about the polarization of the politics and other things. The level of safety here also, I don't have to worry about something bad happening, like somebody breaking into my house or breaking into my car, which happened all the time in America, or somebody stealing something from me or whatever, this and that. All those things I don't have to worry about at all, which is, again, it's another thing that I don't need to worry about, and just makes my life that much more simple and that much easier. And so, overall, I really don't have to think about much, really. I mean, I go to work and earn my money, and I go to the gym, I relax, I take things slow and simple and easy, and life is good that way. And I don't have any like depression or anything like that. I feel good. I feel good with myself and my situation, my living situation, and I'm not worried like financially. I'm not worried about my safety. I'm not worried about my health because healthcare here is very cheap. I can actually afford to go to the doctor if I have a problem. So there's so many things that, worries that are eliminated, and just make life much more stress-free and feels good. So do I plan on going back? Hopefully you can tell by now that no, that's definitely not in my plan. I have no plans to return to America, not to live. I mean, of course, I will go back from time to time to visit my family. As long as I still have family there, I will, continue to do that. But I just don't do it very often because it's just really expensive to go back, and not just about the money, but like go back for what? Like other than to see my family. But like I said, a lot of them are caught up in the politics and this and that, and I just couldn't be bothered dealing with that kind of stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I would probably end up staying in Asia for forever. Or I'm not sure, I'm not gonna say stay in China forever, but I know I've mentioned in several videos before I was considering to leave China or something like that. And It's mainly just because I want to see other things and do other things. It's nothing about China that I dislike or anything like that. Like, look at this. This is where I'm standing right now. Nice scenery, nice view. Everything's clean other than the leaves on the ground. Like, but this is the life that I choose to live. Just simple, easy, stress-free, relaxing life without all the drama and the headaches. And I have no plan in the future to go back. Like, even in America, if you think you're financially stable, right? You pay off your house, you don't have a mortgage, it still costs you just as much in utilities and other things as a mortgage cost. Like, you might be paying $500 or $600 a month for your electric and your gas and your water and all this other stuff. And here in China, I'm paying like less than $300 a month for everything all in. And it costs me like $1,000 a month to live here. And so even if I don't own a house here, like, I can live here cheaper than I lived in America, even if I owned a house, free and clear. You know, I remember my grandmother, this was, 20 years ago, she didn't, she was getting Social Security, owned her house free and clear, and every month she was running out of money, having to dig into her savings just to pay for the utilities and the food and her medications. Like, you just can't live like that, and I don't want to live like that. And that's why I choose Asia over America any day of the week. So anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know, give y'all a quick update on how I feel about living here after all these years. And let me know in the comments below what type of videos you want to see next, and I'll try to make those videos for y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one.